do this. Like messing with that. That's fun for me. Hey, why is the lighting so weird? Lighting is very, very weird. What can we do here? Hey guys, I'm pretty sure I'd be live. Just fixing a couple things. I don't know. I think I'd be live. Sure. Hi, peoples. Are you here? Can you hear me? The lighting is really weird today. I don't like it. It's dark out, and I thought I would compensate. Hey, Alexa, turn on the lights.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, Alexa, turn on the pontoon.
Okay.
Hate that. Hi. Hey, Alexa, turn off the pontoon.
Okay.
All right, cool. Lighting is just going to be weird for this. And, it is what it is. This is what happens when Mr. Soap and Clay is not actually present for one of these live guys, because he's actually the one who knows all the software. But because of the things that I'm doing for the channel for, still year two, but 2022, I'm going to need to learn these guys. So there's definitely that. But I see that you guys are there. Doesn't it look foggy? Yeah, it's really weird. And I don't know why. Is there a smudge on my camera, maybe? Might be a smudge. Hold. I'm just going to break everything right now. No, it's still foggy. It's still weird. Your Alexa is telling you that the lights are already on. That's awesome. I love that. I love that for all of us. Yes. Yeah, it looks foggy, and I don't know why. I mean, I was running the heater for like an hour before I came in here, and so there might just be like humidity things going on. But whatever. Let's call it a filter. It's a weird beauty filter. Why not? So, what's funny? Tell me what's funny, Vet. That's awesome. The Alexa is it's the Barbara Walters filter. That's why she always looks amazing. Yes, for sure. Um so we have Christina, your Alexa is responding to. I love that. I'm so sorry, guys. There's just a lot going on. So we actually have a weird impromptu thing because this live took so many damn days this week, which is a weird. It's been a weird week. 2022 so far has been very strange. But because it took so many days, we actually have a weird impromptu like celebration day today. And that celebration day is called the channel hit 15,000 subscribers. Like it's there. That's a whole ass thing that happened and it's officially coming through in my YouTube studio that there's 15,000. That's huge. You guys are amazing. You guys are like cuckoo bananas. This is very, very cool. So thank you for, sudsers and subscribing and doing the things. You guys are awesome. Like, this wasn't actually how the day was supposed to go. We were supposed to be talking about very serious things, but I can't help but smile about that because 15,000 subscribers is huge. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, everybody, thank you for the congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, the kidlet is actually feeling better. I wonder if they just were not getting back in the swing of it, right? And they just didn't want to do the thing by going back to school. And so we just kind of had a ditch day essentially yesterday. She didn't have any real symptoms of really anything. She just kind of wanted some snuggles and some mom time. So if she wanted an extra day, I'm happy to give her that. Whatever. The kids have already tested out of their grades, like the grades that they're in. They did that at the beginning of the year. So, whatever. Everybody needs a personal self care day every once in a while. And I think that's just what was going on with her. So I was happy to oblige. Because also it was weird. Like today was the first day where Mr. Soap and Clay was back at work and I was here by myself, no kiddos. And that was odd. Like, well, it's quiet around here. It's very crazy. Oh, I need to do the thing though, because this is all official, right? And a day in the 365-day thing. So how's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you are here for day 213 of 365 days of soap. Today's a celebration day because we just hit 15,000 subscribers, which is like, wow. Cheers. It's juice. It's juice from Gather Juice over on 6th Ave in Tacoma. It's good juice, but cheers. Hydrate. Raise what you got. This is a big frickin' deal, you guys. 15,000. That's huge. That's really huge. It's cool. It's cool. So yeah, seriously, thank you guys so much for 15,000 of you. That's not at all intimidating. It's like the most normal thing in the world. 15,000 people have decided that they like the Soap and Clay channel and the content that is put out enough to click that button and be part of the Sudser family. Totally normal. It's not normal. This is not normal. But seriously, thank you. So you are here for that today, and I am so glad that you are here for that. This is a really weird... We'll have to do something again because I'm behind on a couple lives. I actually owe you guys a couple more lives that we weren't able to get in. And so maybe we'll do something on Saturday and do some cool giveaways or something as a big celebration for 15K, because I think that deserves to be celebrated. But it literally happened as I was plugging all the things in to do the things. So I wasn't expecting it. Do you think that my background being this dark is maybe why it looks fuzzy in here? I'm very confused. There's like light pollution going on. That's a thing. I don't know what that thing means, but it could be a thing. I don't know. When do I get a button from YouTube? Tim, that's a good question. You don't get a button from YouTube until you hit 100,000. So that's a long ways, but 15,000 is huge. I bet the kids, because they were actually talking about doing this for 20,000 subs. They're going to create a button for me. So that's going to be the best button ever. So I bet once they find out that I hit 15,000, they'll probably just go ahead and speed up those plans to do a button. And that will be hung in a place of pride and will be way cooler than any button that YouTube could send me, for sure. Lemon water. I like lemon water, Soap Chef. That's good. And I'm glad I don't look foggy anymore. That's good. Yes. Thank you. Maybe what? Maybe what, Julie? I don't know. The chat's going kind of fast. So, hi, guys. For day 213, which was actually supposed to be alive on New Year's Day, and we didn't do it for a couple of reasons. One was the background. That guy hadn't come in yet. And so that was annoying. It literally just came in yesterday. Yeah, that was the whole point. Me and Mr. Soap and Clay were going to be around the thing, like fireworks and bottles and all the things. And that didn't work. That didn't happen. So we didn't do it then, A, because the thing didn't come in, but two, I have been sort of mulling over, I've been trying to process some information, right? Just some general stuff in my life. And I've been trying to find a way to really kind of succinctly put it into words for you guys as to what that all means. And it didn't work. Finding a nice way to, kind of tie it all up into a little bow. And so I'm just going to kind of be here word vomiting about the things that I've been mulling over and what that means for us and for the channel and for other things. I mean, for the TLDR, it really means nothing for the channel, but I also did take off like 5 days. I did that, guy. I took off 5 days. I have things in the can. We are starting a new series. We were supposed to start that new series on January 2nd. I just haven't uploaded them because I've been working through some things. So it's not stopping. A 15K soap would be fun. Oh, you know what? We could do we could make our own little button in soaps. Did somebody mention that in the chat? Is that what the idea is? I think that's a really, really good idea. My Taylor Swift filter on. Oh, to look like Taylor Swift. That would be amazing for sure. So yeah, I definitely took some days off. And I took some days off for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to. And, that's completely fine. Two, some weird things have been happening in the creator space that I have been sort of watching for the last, arguably, I guess, several years because I'm a person that consumes YouTube. But in the last year, there has been a content creator who I know and reasonably call a friend, as much as you can ever do that when you're on like the interwebs together, right? As well as another content creator that I don't know, that have both contributed in huge ways to the YouTube world. Really insightful, big, thoughtful, intellectual, great quality ways that have gone through their own cancellations in the past 2021. And I've watched it from a friend's perspective, from the perspective of, again, someone who I can reasonably call a friend in the space. And that person would be Jimmy Snow. I don't expect you guys to know any of the people I'm talking about. I think the people that I follow online, probably there's not a really good intersectionality between the audience that's here on the soap tubes. So, but he was one. And then a few days before New Year's, Lindsay Ellis, who you may know, I don't know, she's amazing and has been around on the YouTube sphere for a very long time. She came out with an essay, really, that she posted on her Patreon, and I think she linked it on her Twitter, called Walking Away from Omelas. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the term, it's a reference to an Ursula K. Le Guin story, Those Who Walk Away from Omelas. And Omelas is a utopian society, right? Wherein life is perfect. There is no strife, there is no pain, there is no sorrow. It's just nothing but joy and happy times for everyone in the society, except for one person, one child. Everything gets dumped on. So the needs of the many to have a happy, healthy, awesome life can continue having this happy, awesome, healthy life. Now, Lindsay in no way in this essay is saying that she is the child in Omelas. She's talking about what happens when people find out the truth behind this utopian society. Some people stay because, well, I would rather be happy than, not. And other people, they walk away and they're never heard from again. And so she was sort of looking at it from that perspective. And she actually ended up leaving because of kind of nothing. It really was nothing. The entire thing started with and I didn't know Lindsay Ellis before this actually happened. The only reason why it even hit my sphere was because I was watching my friend go through another undeserved cancellation, and this came up in my For You page, in my suggested from the YouTubes. It was a video by Lindsay Ellis called Mask Off. And again, I didn't know her. I did not know her content. For those of you who may not know Lindsay Ellis, I now know her. I've binge watched everything she's ever put out. She's extraordinary. She's very brilliant. She is a really, really talented author. She's also a very talented film critic, and she primarily does film YouTube stuff these days, really talking about Disney movies and musicals, and it's fun. It's enjoyable. She looks at a piece of art that exists within our sphere and, talks about it and also relates our human conditions to what's being done in film. And her mask off video, which was probably, yeah, actually, Chris, it's very similar to The Giver. Also, during the same time that Ursula K. Le Guin was putting out that short story, what is her name? She wrote The Lottery, also very similar to that. But yeah, so the first thing that I had ever been exposed to from Lindsay Ellis was Mask Off, which was, for all intents and purposes, her apology video. And this is coming off the heels of Jimmy doing his apology video. And it was interesting, the different perspectives, the different takes that they decided to do there. Jimmy did the typical YouTuber apology video. He was there in a hoodie. He was distraught. He had lost 30 pounds. Lindsay did not. Lindsay came on and talked about this tweet that apparently canceled her. The tweet in and of itself, I still fail to find a problem with, and so do like a lot of people. It didn't matter. So she came in and she did her mask off, and it was, yeah, Soap Chef, you guys should definitely check out Lindsay Ellis. She's great. She's amazing. But for her mask off video, she took this list. She's been on the internet for a very long time. I think she's been making YouTube videos in some form for 15 plus years. And she took this very comprehensive list that somebody apparently had the time to do and to go through 15 years of tweets and, whatever. And it was a list of her sins, right? And she talked about them. Every sin. And for some, she apologized for. For others that needed no apology, she did not. Some needed context, some needed apology, whatever. At the end of the day, I don't see her to be a problematic creator by any stretch of the imagination. Did not matter. She got dogpiled on. This was a very real example of the left eating its own. We're not getting political here, and I'm not turning the Soap channel into a political channel. I think you guys know that I'm left-leaning, but, whatever. That's not what Soap and Clay is for. If I decide that I want to start talking politics, I'll do so elsewhere. I understand that you do not go to, like, the tire store to get dinner. So you're here for a reason. The Lottery is Shirley Jackson. Thank you, Constance. Thank you. Great, great, great story as well. And so she did this mask off thing, and a few days before New Year's, she announced that she was leaving YouTube forever, which is a very sad thing. And her essay explaining it was beautifully written. As I said, she's an amazing writer, like just across the board. Girl can write. And it actually hit me in really big ways. One of the things that she said within this letter that she released announcing that she was leaving YouTube was talking about the inherent dehumanization that occurs in the YouTube spheres. And so I see this from her, and I see a live stream on New Year's Eve from Jimmy Snow after I'd left the Soap Chef's live stream, which was a delight. Had so much fun there. And that coupled with, what I had been grappling with on my channel, seeing a very real uptick in very mean and negative things, not just to me, but more importantly to my sudsers that are commenting. And none of it had anything to do with Soap. It's just people being really mean and dehumanizing each other, dehumanizing me. And I've been really working with that because it's very, what are we doing here with the new leaf? What's happening here? What's the new leaf going on? I need to scroll up. Yeah, exactly. The New Leaf said that they had a channel once upon a time, but bullied so badly, gave it up. It wasn't good for your mental health. That is very much a thing. And on a channel like Soap, that shouldn't be a thing. Realistically, on a channel like anything, it shouldn't be a thing. People should be allowed to have their own opinions and their own, whatevers without people. If you attack the argument, that's fine, but people don't attack the argument anymore. They attack the person. And I think one of the reasons why we do that is because we're very much looking at, I think we've confused it in our brain, that the people that are here, like me right now, the people that we interact with on social media, the people that we see streaming on Twitch, I think we're looking at them as like there's some sort of character, like they're playing a character. And obviously, to some extent, that's true. You do play a character to a point online. I guess maybe I take this a little harder than I maybe should. Well, for a couple of reasons. One is I'm really not much different offline than what you see here. I swear more and I wear robes a whole lot more, like over my clothes, because I find them comforting. So even though, and I know that's confusing, and I know that I lean into the confusion though, because I come on here and say I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. And I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. I have been so in all of my classes and everything that I've taught for several years, because weirdly, it's easier to say Mrs. Soap and Clay than it is to say Shantine. But I'm a person, right? And all the people that you interact with, they're people for the most part. Like sometimes you get bots and trolls, but it's not good for anyone to forget that there is always a human on the other side of any interaction. And I guess the way that this was really solidified with me actually did happen on January 1st when the kiddos, because it had gotten to be so bad on my channel for like the 3 weeks leading up to the end of the year. And again, it was not soap related at all. They weren't attacking the craft. They weren't attacking a pour. They were just attacking people. It had gotten so bad that I had just stopped checking comments and I had just mostly checked out. And my 7-year-old came to me on New Year's Day and she's like, "Mom, what does this word mean?" And she's in my comment section. And it's two sudsers fighting with each other. And my 7-year-old saw it. Because my 7-year-old is proud of me. And she knows that I talk about her sometimes, so she wants to go in and look at the things that people say. And she saw some not cool things. So I've been grappling with that, coupled with the Lindsay Ellis thing and the Jimmy Snow thing, again on his live. He was talking about how this was the hardest year of his life and he's going to just stop caring. And he's likely on his way out in the YouTube world as well. And it all sort of centers around this idea of humanity, right? And remembering that there's a person on the other end. And I would even take it a step farther and just pretend that maybe a 7-year-old is reading your comments on the other end. Because that happened. And so I thought it would be a good idea to start doing more of these things. It's not going to be necessarily soap related. It's also not going to be anything other related. As I said, you don't go to the tire shop to pick up your dinner, and you probably found my channel because soap. But I know that most of you are staying because me. So while it's not going to be going too far off base with what we already do on the channel, me being a random person and I talk about whatever comes into my head most of the time anyway. It's still going to be that. But I thought we could do more live kind of sit down chats and just connect as humans. And some days it will be literally just this. And I don't have anything. We're just here having a chat. Others days, it may be taking you along for the ride while I'm trying to figure out how like OBS and everything works and making new scenes and new little title screens and stuff for things. It may be just brainstorming, the next month's worth of content with you up until year 3, which I already have something really big and fun planned, which I've said multiple times does require your participation because I will be really focusing more of the spotlight onto creators, other soapers within year 3. But I thought that this might be a good way to at least delay the inevitable. Not my inevitable cancellation. There's I have to continue to go back to I am a soap channel. I make soap. 2, I don't tweet. And for every person that I've seen canceled over the past decade of life, watching the YouTube things, Twitter is your biggest enemy. Just stay off of it. But even if I did tweet, you're never going to find anything problematic in my history because I reserve that for the shit posts I do to my conservative family members during the political season. Really? And that's all on private pages. But yeah, it's not about the cancellation. It's just about the inevitable people not seeing me as a person and instead seeing me as a commodity. And I don't want to be anything. I don't want to be just that commodity. I don't want to be just that person that you go to for soap. I have a lot of interests in life, and while again, I'm not going to just show you all of my interests and do whatever, there's going to be pieces of that, and I just thought this would be a nice way to remind us every once in a while that, hey, we are all still human here, including the person that, films the video and edits the video and puts it up on the thing and I'm in your box. Me too. I see the humanity in all of you, and I want you guys to see the humanity in each other and also in me. So that's kind of it. And yeah, Brooks Bubbles, don't tweet that. It's a terrible idea. It really is. Tammy, the counters. So that will be something that you guys will be along for the ride for some of those projects within the house, because I will be pouring my kitchen counter soon. And so I see that being a fun thing. I also just genuinely want to do just as part of this, just like live streams where you guys can pop in and out and I'm going for 7 hours. I'm just filming my day. We got a camera coming down, and we got a camera going here, and we can just flip between the two, and you can watch me make soap while we chit chat, whatever. Because, and it's not because that's easier content, because it's actually not. Because I really do want us all to continue to connect in a real way. I mean, I've got 15,000 subscribers. That was built organically through a group of like-minded people that see value in the existence of other humans, even though I am quite certain we all share vastly different political, religious, insert whatever thing here. Pink or purple. Is the dress blue or gold? And we created this cool place where we can all be and be kind to each other. So I want to make sure that kindness sticks. And my idea with all of this is to do more of this more frequently than just curated videos every day. So As far as how many, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how often we'll do this, but I would like to do it reasonably often. So, yeah. So, Jasenia thinks a live stream would be fun. Colleen likes that. Okay. Karen, good, good, good. I like that. Good. Now y'all are talking about my guns. Gotta go up and see what y'all are saying about my guns. My brother actually said years ago, when I was actually in the fitness world and doing like the bodybuilding thing, and I was dating this boy who was a competitive bodybuilder guy. And he was commenting. We were all out at dinner, and this boy that I was dating was commenting on that. And my brother goes, "No, no, she's not. She's not actually buff. It's just she's so skinny that it all just pops out." So, anytime anybody comments on my guns, I think of that, and I'm like, Thanks, Mr. Webman, bursting my gun bubble." But yeah, I'm glad that you guys don't have a problem with doing more of stuff like this, because I think that this is going to be a good way to keep our community as safe for all of us as possible. And maybe it will help us all remember, because we're all going to slip up. We're all going to, want to say the tempting thing or whatever. But going back to the whole Twitter thing, that is a cesspool of the tempting things that should have been left unsaid. That is all Twitter is. It's just people shit posting at each other. Like, they don't think about it when they type it and send it off, and they don't think about it again until they get called out for it 10 years later. So just don't do it. But maybe we can do this to sort of remind ourselves and each other that sometimes the art of communication is leaving the tempting thing unsaid. So I would like to keep everybody safe in this space as long as we possibly can. And, when it turns into a place where it's not safe at all, fuck it. I grenade the channel and everything goes away. Because that's not the community that I think any of us want here. So there's that. TikTok is worse. I have never actually read comments on TikTok, because I do not doubt that what you are saying is true. Never read the comments. Just leave my little heart and I scroll to the next thing that makes me giggle. For sure. So, oh, hey, I'm glad you're subbed now, Dulcie. Thank you. But yeah, this is all a good community that I'm really, really, really happy about. And I'm glad that you guys all exist. Sorry, I'm going up to Southern Magnolias. Okay, good. You're resting more. Good, good, good. Okay. Keep us updated on the doctor stuff for sure. Definitely need that. The soap chef doesn't know how to work TikTok. I don't either. I started an account like with the intention of like doing little like short whatevers on TikTok, but I always get sucked into my For You page, right? And it's just like funny mom things and, whatever. And before you know it, 4 hours of my life have gone by and I'm just scrolling. So yeah, TikTok I don't know if that's really the place for me. I don't know that I can ever actually get to my thing to try to make a TikTok, because I'm always obsessed with the boatloads of 30-second vids or whatever. I have been doing a lot of Twitch lately though. And how's it going, Karen? How's it going, everybody who's joined and I haven't seen? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But yeah, I've been on Twitch a lot lately. And I've been on Twitch for actually a couple of reasons. One is Mr. Soap and Clay and Mr. Webman and I want to start a gaming stream, because we're actually very funny when we game together, and we thought it would be fun to do that thing. So that would obviously be a secondary thing that, I don't know, not a large percentage of you would tune in for, but it would be fun for us. But also, I'm thinking if I'm going to be live streaming like 7 hour just days of just making soap, like here's a day in the shop while we're chit chatting and doing whatever, Twitch might be the better platform for that because it's sort of built to be a long streaming type thing as opposed to YouTube, which isn't really equipped and built to do that. So Twitch is a lot of fun. I actually quite enjoy Twitch, and it did give me a lot of hope that nice, kind communities can actually exist at any level, regardless of how big you are. They can still exist, and you can still ensure that they exist. So, I mean, we've got Julian of Jenna and Julian with bajillions of followers and subs, and his streams are always huge and epic, and everybody is so kind to each other. And I love that. That's the community that I want. I don't want shit posting. So Twitch has been fun for that. So you guys are going to see me on Twitch at some point, maybe. I don't know. I feel like in order to explain how to get to Twitch and do the Twitch, I'm going to have to. So you have to like download an app. It's an app is the best way to do it. The cool thing that I really love about Twitch, and this is why I think it's better for longer form like live streaming, is because you know how when you're on the YouTube, like right now, if you wanted to go look up the thing that I was talking about earlier, like Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, and tell me who the author is. I'm not saying that you didn't know it. There have been a lot of things wherein I'm on a live stream on the YouTubes and I want to go look that up to see what it is. But when you go to a browser, well, YouTube stops playing. Twitch doesn't. It acts like Amazon or like your Apple Music or whatever, and it just follows you to all the rest of your things. You can go check your Facebook, you can respond to text messages, you can go to the interwebs, and Twitch continues to play. So I think that's probably a better idea than just like forcing anybody to spend too much of an amount of time on just YouTube, because I don't know how you use your phone, but I use it for 19 million different things at the exact same time. So maybe Twitch would work better for that. I have found it to be very enjoyable because I can look things up while a streamer is streaming and I don't miss any of the action. It's making soap. How much action is there going to be? A lot. Soap. So, Avid, what games on Twitch? I mean, for me and Mr. Soap and Clay, Mr. Webman, we were talking about doing like a Borderlands revisit or a Gra revisit because those games are both so chaotic and we have had a lot of fun just doing that over the years, like even just achievement hunting, wherein we're like camping to get an achievement, you know? For me personally, if I were to do gaming on Twitch, it would be mostly RPGs, like single player RPGs. I'm obviously obsessed with Animal Crossing right now, so that's a nice, fun, cozy thing. But there's only so much Animal Crossing I can do in a day before I get just exceedingly bored. But you know, that's also an option. And really, just kind of whatever cool games come out that we're interested in. And again, like I said, revisiting some of the old ones that we love very much, like the Borderlands series, Skyrim. I always love messing around with Skyrim. And yeah, I've heard that Kingdom Hearts is actually coming to the Switch soon, so I'm interested in seeing that. That's going to be cool, for sure. And Teresa, I'm glad that you're addicted to Twitch. It's a good place. It's a lot of fun. And I think Twitch does have a smart TV app, actually. I do. Yes. Jamie says that they've wasted so many months of their life on the Borderlands franchise. Same. But, time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. It's a good time. I love Borderlands. That game is amazing. And it's actually Mr. Soap and Clay, Mr. Webman were talking about it over Christmas. And that's the only game that Mr. Soap and Clay has any memory of me rage quitting. And the reason why I rage quit is because I'm not so much of strategy, which is why it's so much fun for Mr. Soap and Clay and Mr. Webman and I to play together because they're pretty good with the strategery. Real word. And I'm just not. I just like run into the chaos and see what happens, right? And so I'm immediately down. And so they have to switch their strategery and go and like save me. And it's a disaster. And there was one time when Mr. Soap and Clay was not able to come save me. And I was so mad because I was about to lose like $100 million or something with the death. Because when you respawn, you lose money in Borderlands. And I got mad and I threw that controller and I wasn't allowed to play. I was on a timeout for like 4 days. Fair point. That was a fair play for him, for sure. But yes, that's a good quote, Jamie. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time, for sure. But oh, we got some Skyrim fans in the chat. We've got some Borderlands fans. We got some Skyrim fans. That's nice. I like it. Yeah, Skyrim actually holds a really, really important place in our hearts for me and Mr. Soap and Clay. Because I was a big Elder Scrolls, fan before. And he was not. He was actually the kind of person who was not into RPGs at all. Like, at all. And I remember when we were dating, he was over at my house and I was playing Dragon Age Origins, right? And I'm like, okay, so I can show you this really cool part, but only if you think that you're never going to play this game, because it's really cool. Because, in Dragon Age Origins, just like with any other RPG, you have to have like 19 million unique saves. But that's especially true in the Dragon Age series because there are decisions that you can make that completely change the course of the game. So it's always a good idea to have a bunch of fresh save files for any one playthrough. So I was going to load up this one thing and show him a cool thing. But I'm like, only if you know for a fact, for sure, that you will never want to play this game. And he laughs in my face and he's like, I don't play RPGs, so yeah, show me the thing. So he had never played any sort of RPGs. And I introduced him to Dragon Age. And he was obsessed with Dragon Age. He loved it. And then I'm like, okay, so now you have to play Oblivion. And he loved Oblivion. He became an RPGer at that point. Like, he does weird RPGs that I won't even touch, right? Like Divinity, the Divinity series. I find that to be so clunky and frustrating that I don't want to. And he loves them. Like, he's really into the RPGs now. And so for Skyrim, when it was coming out, it was such a big deal in our relationship because it was part of our sort of formative years that we actually got married on the day that Skyrim released. And we just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary. Which means it's been 10 years since we've had an Elder Scrolls game. What the hell, Bethesda? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to us? 10 years? So sad. So sad. RPGs are good, Southern Magnolia. Oh, Christina, you like Oblivion. Oh, speaking of Christina, so you guys, tomorrow, it's not going to be like a live thing tomorrow or whatever, but I'm doing an interview with Christina. We are doing a collaboration thing, and she will be interviewing me, and I will be interviewing her, and they will be on our socials, separate socials for the interviews or whatever. So definitely check that out. She is a drop in the ocean. Go find her on Instagram and TikTok. You're doing TikTok, right, Christina? You're the one who can also tell us about TikTok? How to get away from the For You page so you can actually use TikTok to be productive as well. I just look at the For You page. So yeah, that'll be fun. So definitely check that out or wait for that in the coming weeks because we will be doing that interview tomorrow. Very excited about it. Gonna have to figure out why these lights are weird between now and then, but it'll be a good time for sure. It's okay. You don't have to be a gamer. There are lots of cool people in the world, and some of them are not gamers. So I'm sure you're that too, Jacinia. Where does Southern Magnolia start for RPGs? Oh, it's a hard question. Yeah, Jamie, actually it's out. The Skyrim for the Oculus. We downloaded it. It's nuts. The new VR is just so much fun. Like, so fun. they've done such a good job with the virtual reality thing that actually for one of them, because I was right in the middle of like an RPG, so like swords, going and somebody running up to me, and there was a cliff, and you can also screencast what the person is seeing in the headset. It's not nearly as vibrant and beautiful as what the person that's actually wearing the headset is seeing, but it's a pretty good representation of what's going on if you screencast it to a TV. So everybody else can also see what the person wearing this big clunky headset is doing, other than just looking weird doing all this. But I came up to this cliff in this VR, game, and the kidlets were like, "Mom, jump off of it." And I could not do it. Wherein, of course, I would have done like that in like a regular video game and just plunged over the side just to see if the game boundaries even allowed me to. I could not do it because I was that afraid of the potential of actually like experiencing that fall. That's how realistic VR is these days. It's wild. You guys should get an Oculus. They're really, really amazingly priced these days too. It's really shocking. I love that, Wookie Wook. I love that I have no clue what you were talking about when you talk video games and Taylor Swift, but I can't stop watching. That's great. That's good. It's good. My life is mostly just random musings on video games and Taylor Swift. And soap. Final Fantasy. That's an interesting one to start with, Chris. Really? Is Final Fantasy still turn-based? That's what I always hated about Final Fantasy, but the story's good, for sure. The stories are always really good. And yeah, the VR is really, really amazing. It's such a cool thing for sure. And it's like the games wherein you're actually like fighting someone and there's combat. It's super wild. But there are also like the first game that was recommended when we booted up the Oculus, because I got Mr. Soap and Clay an Oculus for Christmas. One of the first games that was recommended was Job Simulator. And I'm like, well, how boring must that be? We're going to go to virtual reality to live reality? Hard pass. But then Mr. Soap and Clay was showing me a couple videos about it, and it actually looks really funny because I guess you can walk around the office and just like chuck your coffee cups at your boss and your coworkers and stuff. So it might be a fun way to, release some stress about office working. I thought that was really funny. Animal Crossing is not on the Oculus, I don't think. I don't think Animal Crossing is on the Oculus. Nintendo really hates doing crossovers. For sure. So I do not think it's on the Oculus. But yeah, Christina, seriously, Job Simulator, it's a good time. Like, it looks really hilarious. So we downloaded that to play next. But we had to hide the VR from the kids because they're not supposed to be on it, is the things. Like, kids under the age of 13, it's not a good idea for them to mess with it because their eyes are still developing. And also because they're going to be irresponsible. Like Scout has been with all of it, and she'll just like stand up on the couch and like, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to play this game, and she'll just stand up on the couch with the headset on. And I'm like, when you're in the game, you're literally in the game. You cannot see the rest of your surroundings. I cannot stress this enough. You are completely immersed. And she's standing on a couch. Kids should not play these games. They can't be trusted. Yeah, the Switch is a good... I think that's the only reason that I got a Switch was for Animal Crossing, actually, Tammy, because it's a fun game. It's a very chill, relaxed game. It's kind of like Minecraft, but with prettier things, It's not all just pixelated blocks, which was like cool in 2007 or whatever. It's not as cool anymore. Although they're doing really fun things on Minecraft these days too. They're like, Aowen is doing one of these dairy farm things. And so she's learning how to make butter and whether that's a chemical or a physical change and yogurt and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. She's learning while she's playing. Love that. Yeah, no, the scout was avid. That's actually what I was terrified of, like jumping off the waterfall. A, I did not want to experience like falling, but two, I was worried that I would also get motion sickness from the whole thing. So wild. And yeah, Chris, Scout, that's if Scout can be hurt, she will find a way to do so. So that's just what she does for sure. Still so super cool. We have 15,000 subscribers. I keep looking, waiting for that number to drop, like during this stream. Because, you know, see, sometimes people just want to be funny and like unsubscribe to make somebody's like happy moment, you know, whatever. Funny. Hasn't happened yet, so that's cool. Mad scientist like her mom. She's something. She does a lot of tea concoction these days and all these different weird tea things that she, and that's her mad scientist vibes right now, for sure. So yeah, this is sort of really what I'm, and it seems like you guys seem to be okay with this and doing just kind of this. Obviously, again, it won't be video games the whole time, all the time. But just kind of whatever we're in the mood to talk about. And if you guys want to talk about things, and if you need to get some stuff off and a place to vent and all the jazz, I think we're going to be doing this a little bit from now on because of all the reasons I've already said. Really. I have to go in tonight. We're going to be doing so I've been taping and mudding the dog room. And yes, the dogs have their own room. So we live in a split level entry house. And so our front door has this big landing that's like 12 feet wide or long by like 8 feet deep. And then there's a staircase that goes up and a staircase that goes down. And anyway, underneath there, huge area, 12 feet by 8 feet by about 4 feet off the ground, right? That we are turning into the dog's room. So squashy couches and their cool beds and like the place where they can go and hide when they just want to be away from people, right? And so the kids had a really cool idea because they're like really into art and they're very artistic people. They had a cool idea about like drawing, painting images onto the walls in the room. So now that it's been all taped and mudded, and before Mr. Soap and Clay puts in the carpet, which we're going to use carpet for now because we are ripping out all the carpet from the entire house with the remodel and the addition. So we're just going to be putting those pieces of carpet because it was new carpet when we moved in. So it's perfectly good carpet. Just going to put it in there and let them do their thing. And then we'll figure out a more permanent flooring solution once that's all done. But they're going to, now that it's been all taped and mudded, we're going to paint some cool murals on the walls in the dog room. So we'll be doing that over the next, week or two. It's also fun to talk about weird stuff that you do with your house because it's your house. So you should get to do what you want with it, It's kind of what I think. Maybe she will have a tea company one day, Tim. That would be a really cool idea. She says right now that she wants to take over the soap company. Eowyn wants to be an art teacher. Scout wants to take over the soap company. And they both want to live at home until the end of days. So there's that. Currently, Atomic Elf, yes, YouTube does have a way to do that on lives. Only allow comments from subs. And I am reasonably sure that sub mode only is activated for something like this. Yes. So for the lives, I have always kept it at subs only. For that, because, again, You guys are showing up to have a good time. If you want to show up to have like a shitstorm, right? And to see the chaos, you're obviously not tuning into me. You'd be tuning into like H3H3 or you know what I mean? Like there are plenty of drama things that are happening all the time. So that's why we set up sub only for the live chats, just so this can always be a nice place. Or that's the hope anyway. I like that other people have kiddos that say, wait, I'm not even gonna, I actually cannot read and respond to Chris's comment right now because I was just talking about kiddos and his comment and kiddos definitely don't go together. And he wasn't meaning them to go together. But yeah, no, I'm glad that other people have kiddos that are wanting to be lifers too. And they are all okay with it. Because, I'm fine with that. What do I care? They already live here. What's the problem with them living here longer? I don't see any real reason to like boot them at 18 or whatever. Seems weird. Laura, are you questioning because you don't know who H3H3 is? It's good. It's not really a person that needs to be known. There's usually a lot of drama going on his channel, though. Yeah, no, Atomic, it doesn't allow comment restriction on videos, but there have been a lot of people in the past few weeks that are, that have been put on either soft blocks or just completely blocked from the channel forever. So a soft block essentially means they can continue commenting, but nobody, including me, ever sees their comments. So, and a block is you're just done, apparently. I don't exactly know how that works, but I'm glad Krista is catching up with the thing and she dislikes Twitter a lot. Because, yeah, it's not a fun place. Yeah, I think kiddos being forced to move out at any specific time is such a weird thing. Like, when they're ready to go, they go. Granted, we want to teach them to be self-sufficient, to do all the things, but there are a lot of kiddos who are, in fact, self-sufficient at 18, 20, 30, whatever. But damn, it's hard to live out there, isn't it? There's a lot going on. Rent is a lot. Wages are crap. We get it. We exist in this world too. Yeah, Tara, for the most part, the crazy comments, people do see them. But I'm usually pretty good at removing them as quickly as possible. And like I said earlier in the stream, it got to the point where it was getting so bad that I was just avoiding comments altogether, which also sucked, by the way, and for the record, because 75% of the joy that I find in all of this is interacting with you guys. And so if I'm not doing a live, the only place that I get to interact with you is in the comments. And so if my comment section, because people are being mean for like lame reasons, again, it's not even soap related. I'm not questioning the material that's being put forth. They're just being mean to the point where I'm like ignoring my comment section. Well, that sucks for me too. You've just eliminated 75% of my fun, because my fun is, again, interacting with the peoples. So I was ignoring them for a while, and to the point where my 7-year-old actually saw some comments and I had to address that with her, and that's not fun. It was not fun. So this is why we are doing it kind of this way. And it's good to miss the drama in the comment section, MJ. Nobody needs that. We don't need that in our lives. Housing, utilities, everything is expensive. Exactly, Cauldron Hill. For sure. Doesn't make a ton of sense to like have kids and then just push them out of the nest as quickly as possible if you have the means and the ability to allow them to continue living there. And that's not to say that everybody has that. So I also get that. But yeah. So I really am, again, glad that you guys are okay with all of this. And I've missed a ton of messages so far, but I don't know. I wanted to catch up with you guys in 2022 and let you know what was going on. I will be probably still doing what I said we were going to do for the last live and probably taking like a day off every 7 or 10 days or so and not posting things just to allow the algorithm and everything to catch up because with daily content, it it's very strange because like the soap videos in and of themselves, they're not topical, right? These are things that you can watch when they're 2 years old. But because of the way that YouTube works and television works and all the things work, I think our minds are sort of trained to go, oh, well, this video was 3 days old, therefore it's no longer like pertinent information. And so just to make sure the algorithm's always happy, I think I'll take a day off every 7 to 10 days. And maybe I'll replace that day with one of these guys. That's just us doing the thing. Yeah, Chris, I do a good job. I try to do a good job making sure that thing goes away real quick because it's not fun at all. And Atomic Elf, you learn something. We've all shitpost before, that's happened. And it's good. That's one of the reasons why when you find me anywhere on social media, like I do have a private Facebook account, right? That, as I've talked about before, I don't use except for during the political season. I'm just never on there, but it's private and it's pretty well locked down. Everything else, my Facebook, my other Facebook for my business, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, everything is my business name. And that's been the reason, I think, it's been the biggest like key to success for me is when I want to say the tempting thing, I see my business name as I'm typing it out. And it's like, oh, well, no, that's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. I'm no longer some random idiot on the internet. I am representing my business right now. And so I don't have like sock accounts and alt accounts, whatever. It's just always my business. And I keep it that way to, if anything, just rein me in and make sure that I always leave the tempting thing unsaid because, yeah, sometimes things push you to that for sure. And you want to, but for me, it's not me, random person on the internet said something. It's Soap and Clay said something. Well, thanks. No, thanks. It's not worth it. It's not worth that gotcha moment in the moment. So I delete and move on with my life. Oh God, that's funny, Jennifer. Your husband is limiting your YouTube time because you told him today you had to make all the soapy things. That's awesome. Mr. Soap Chef also says all of the things all the time. So I think I'm wearing on a lot of relationships right now. And for that, I apologize for nothing. For nothing at all. I apologize for nothing. Yeah, Tara, you've been around for a long time. Me in my bathtub. And everyone thought it was my shower. It wasn't my shower. There's a chandelier overhead. Obviously couldn't have been a shower. Had to have been a bathtub. That's good, Brooks. You should definitely keep it that way. Just business accounts for social media. Soap Chef, I adore your husband. You guys were so much fun to hang out with on New Year's Eve. That was a good time. For sure. Yeah, Laura, that's 100% true. That's a thing right now. In this day and age, even if you're not using, a business name or whatever, it's still very, very easy to link you back to who you actually are and where you work and saying, things online. We should just not say things online unless they're nice. And if you don't like the person, just don't watch them. Not going to change anyone by saying something mean to them. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't actually change anyone's perspective. That chandelier was very confusing, actually. Cauldron, it's a fair point. But there's a chandelier over the bathtub. That's Scout's bathroom, actually. I haven't shown you. That was another fun thing I got to do this week. I got to move into a new bathroom. Still not my bathroom, but it is a new bathroom that does not belong to anyone right now. And so I moved into it because I was tired of sharing a bathroom with 3 other people. And also they were tired of me, more likely, because, what do they have? They've each got a hairbrush and a toothbrush, and that's basically it. What do I have? All of this stuff that I put on my face. And so I moved all of that stuff out of the only other bathroom that's currently done in the house. And I think everybody's happier for that because now there's no clutter. Went down to the other bathroom. So that was a good, cool win for me. No chandelier in that bathroom though. Not yet. Yeah, it's actually a really, really beautiful experience, Cauldron Hill. Bathing by chandelier light. Turn off the overhead and just have the chandelier kicked on. It's really fun. You've got your bath bomb, you've got your book, you've got your music. It's a good time. I only last about never more than 10 minutes in a tub though, because I'm too twitchy, really, to stay in one place for too terribly long. Okay, I hear you. Thank you. Alarms going off. They do all the time. But yeah, so I only last about 10 minutes, but for those 10 minutes, it's great. It's a good time. Good mood lighting. It's fun. Your brother put a fancy chandelier in the shower. That's so cool. That's so cool. We weren't allowed to do that for code. We had to fight to get that one in above the bathtub for code. Even with the right RFCI outlet. I don't know. I don't understand electricity. That's for Mr. Soap and Clay. He's much smarter than me. You're saving the Central Perk Bar for what, Southern Magnolia? What are you saving it for? Hi, Zerg. Everybody say hi to Chris's cat in chat because that's adorable. Last night, Gizmo, the younger cat, the tabby, was so weird. I went to sit down, I don't know, when the kids were doing something else. And I don't know, it was 5 o'clock, right? And I just went to sit down to check on my villagers at Animal Crossing. And Gizmo came and just sort of jumped onto my chest. And so I sort of leaned back. And she's doing her little, kneading thing. And then she just sort of snuggles up, kind of right here. And I'm like, okay, I'm obviously not going to say no to this because I'm getting cat snuggles. I got kid snuggles and cat snuggles yesterday. This is all cool. It's I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm here for it. And so I'm just letting it ride. And I sort of lay down, so maybe it's more comfortable for her. 2 hours later, Mr. Soap and Clay comes home, and she's still there. And I can't move because it's just rude to move at that point, right? And then she goes and takes off to do something. And I should have gotten up at that point. I did not. I had a window. I missed it. 3 minutes later, she's back. And she does a little kneady knead thing. She's just right back on me. For another 2 hours. And so I was at some point, just sort of a captive of this cat for 4 hours yesterday. And I'm what is happening here? Why are you here? It was enjoyable, but also weird. So cats are weird. That's the whole point of that story. And I will never figure them out. It's a fun existence with cats since we got them. I'll never figure out what makes their mind tick. But they know. They know exactly what they're doing. What do you think Gizmo was doing? Cat snuggles are the best. It was weird. That was weird, though, you guys. It was weird. It was very weird. Texas actually does have less strict building rules, Kimberly. We were looking at actually buying a house in Texas because you can get McMansions for nothing down there. And so we were thinking about maybe moving down there. But then we didn't. We moved up here instead. So there was that. That's so cute that and I'm also glad that you agree with me, Chris. It's cute that your cat does that too, and I'm glad that I am not alone in that belief that you don't leave. You don't leave. You don't make them leave when they're like that. You let them do their thing. I just didn't realize it was going to be a 4 hour long thing. Like, are you not bored yet? I'm like throwing a toy to see if she'll move. She didn't move. She just, it was fun. It was a cool way to spend a Tuesday night for sure. What is that? What kind of pig are we talking about here? Can you phonetically say that in chat? Because I will never be able to pronounce that because I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, but I can't pronounce that. Oh, hey, Shells. Welcome. What kind of pigs, though? What kind of pigs are we talking about, Janine? Sounds fun. Texas is very business artist friendly. It's good to know. Didn't Royalty Soaps have issues with being, I don't know, weren't there problems with her being able to actually claim a cottage business in Texas? That's where she lives, right? I found that to be very, very confusing, shocking that she was going through all of that shit with her cottage business at her house. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest is awesome, even with the rain. But it's cold right now. I'm so tired of being cold. Just check the heater. It turned off. Cool. The cute tiny pigs? I want a cute tiny pig. Like a... Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Coon? I'm certainly not pronouncing that right. Oh, Whataburger is amazing. You're sending me a package, Shells? Why? You just did that thing. I mean, I won't say no, because I love your soaps. But that's amazing. Yeah, that's super wild for me. That's super crazy, the thing with Royalty Soaps in Texas or whatever. That was a couple years ago, right? And they had to like scramble at the 11th hour to find a new space, like back at her parents' house or something, right? Pretty sure that's how that went down. And that was in Texas, which is so weird. Whataburger is awesome though, MJ. I'm pretty sure they have Whataburger in New Mexico as well. Or maybe that's a lot of burger. I think it might be the same thing. Don't quote me on that. Good burger places do not exist in the Pacific Northwest though. Like that actually does suck that we don't have good burger places up here. A teacup pig. Yeah. I almost adopted a shop pig a couple years ago. And so I'm friends with a person who's very good friend. I'm very good friends with the person who's very good friends with the person that owned the petting zoo up here. And this petting zoo is ridiculous. They have giraffes and they have sloths and they have otters and they have capybaras and wild. And so I got to know him by nature of, my friend. And he was rehoming a pig who was supposed to be a teacup pig. The thing is, this pig was only like a year old. And then I read online that pigs don't actually show their full size until they're like 2 or something. And even though this guy was like, oh yeah, no, it's super a teacup pig. I looked at it and I went, already looks a little big. And I don't want to take the chance of this turning into like a hog or something, right? And so I didn't end up picking it up because it would have been a very weird shop pig if it was just this big pig. A teacup pig would have been adorable though. I didn't do that. We just got another Dane, which is as big as a pig, if not bigger. So I don't know. My logic doesn't make any sense at all. Chicago pizza. Who's talking about Chicago pizza? I miss Chicago pizza too. We were talking about that not 3 days ago. How there's not a good Chicago pizza place. There used to be up in Seattle. It was called like Nicole's or something. It was a girl's name. And they shut down. And I haven't seen a good Chicago deep dish style pizza since, which is weird. Why are we so like wanting for food up here? I don't understand. In and Out just opened in Salem. Damn. Damn. That'll be a crazy time for a while. Yeah, Smash Burger was great in Colorado for sure. Lark Burger was good. Even like the chain burger places were really good that were sort of like Colorado based. No good salad shops up here either. I mean, Crisp Greens exists over on 6th and they're good, but like no like just salad places where you can just go get a grub salad. I thought I turned you off. Why are you still? My alarms are still going off. I'm sorry. Frisco Freeze. Yeah, Frisco Freeze is actually good. That's down on 6 too, right? I'm pretty sure that's down on 6th Ave. And Danes are amazing dogs, for sure. I love Danes. The pigs act like puppies, Janine. That's adorable. I love that. Laura, I understand hubby wanting to open up a shop. We want to actually open up a Mexican food place up here because we come from a place where there's really good Mexican food. And I'm from several generations of amazing Mexican food. And you can't find good Mexican food up here either, which is sad. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. We're really far north. It's cold up here, and like that cuisine has not made its way up here, but like also it's 2021. We don't have any good Mexican food. Hate that. Nally Fresh for salads. Yeah, a salad restaurant would be good. The original Pancake House, actually, weirdly, MJ. So that's over on 6th Ave, which is awesome. But we just learned that they're opening up a new place. I mean, there's actually multiples of the original Pancake House. Yes. But we learned that they are opening up a new one here in Gig Harbor, which is cool. I don't have to cross the bridge for pancakes now. And my whole life, Tim, is salads. I love salads just across the board. Just really big on healthy salads. You know what I mean? Like the more stuff you can put on it, the better it is. Yeah, like a Cobb. And no good salad places here except for Crisp Greens. Hacienda, Colorado. Damn, that is a deep cut right there. Wow. I haven't thought about Hacienda in a while. For sure. When you were in Colorado, Chris, did you ever go to Casa Bonita? That's not good Mexican food, but it's certainly an experience. A weird one. Something that you kind of have to do. Tammy, good night. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah, well, Avid, I think everyone should have that in every city. There should be, places where you can just go to get the best, most authentic cuisine. Because you have to assume that in every city, the representation is there. You know what I mean? And we should have these areas, like in Denver, you always knew where to go to get like the best Mexican, the best pho, the best Ethiopian. There was like this whole ass area that had like 8 really good Ethiopian restaurants. It was amazing. And Indian food, like it was really good culinary representation. And up here it's like, well, there's Applebee's. Obviously that's not all. They have a lot of like fancy restaurants up here that like to do like fusion style food, but when you just want really good Mexican food, where do you go? I don't know. I haven't eaten either, actually, Shells, and that's probably why I'm talking about food so much. And the kidlet actually just texted. I text. Kids. They don't have phones, for the record. They don't have phones, but they learned how to text on their iPad. But only if they're like on white. You get it. You understand how that works. But they just texted and said, we're ready to make dinner. Because tonight's their night to make dinner. So we should probably cut this off so we can go make dinner together to have it ready for when Mr. Soap and Clay comes home. Not because that's like a thing that's required. It's just we like to do that for him because he's a nice guy. We like that guy. Oh, what are you cooking for dinner tonight, Brooks? Best Mexican food in Hawaii is your mom's kitchen. That's amazing. That's amazing. Does she make? What does she make? What kind of Mexican food does she make? I'm always interested because, like, for my family, for Christmas Day, we do pozole, and we do a red one and a green one because it's just amazing and delicious and awesome, and also an easy thing that can just sit because the longer it sits there in the crock, the better it gets. Love some pozole. Where my whole family is obsessed with green chili. Like, you can't make something like eggs or chocolate cake. Kidding on the chocolate cake, but that's how serious we are about it without putting green chili in because it's delicious. Makes everything better. Ethan Stoll restaurants. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Hold on. I never say no to restaurant recommendations, so I will. I'm not familiar. We're going to write it down. Red Cow. All right. Cool. Thanks, Chris. I will definitely do that. Have I been to a Broncos game? Yes. Courtney, me and the Broncos have a relationship. Have I been to a Broncos game? Yeah, no, actually, when I was living in Colorado, when I was living in Denver, went to a lot of Broncos games. And also I had season tickets to the Rockies, and so we were there all the time. I was actually living in Lodo when the Rockies were in the World Series for the Rock Sox. And so we were there for the wild card game, the playoff games, and the World Series where they got annihilated, and that was less fun. But yeah, a big Colorado sports team enthusiast for sure. Broncos are kind of tough. We actually moved up here to the Pacific Northwest from California the year, like just 2 months after the Seahawks kicked the shit out of the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And it was hard being a Broncos fan in the 12th man's backyard that year. But you know, there was a repeat and the Broncos won, and so it all worked out. You know, it was good. But yeah, is that real, Chris? That's cool. You guys do pozole and tamales? That's awesome. Yeah, we used to do like big like turkey again for Christmas and stuff, but then it just stopped being fun, you know? And so I don't know, back when my grandma was still alive, she started just doing this thing where she would just make pozole and tortillas and just have it all out. And when people were hungry or as they would come and go throughout Christmas Day, there was food there for them. So it wasn't a proper like fancy sit down dinner, but it was bomb food. And then all the different candies and chocolates and everything. My family throws down when it comes to food all the time, but yeah, we do pozole on Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is like the fancy sit down dinner thing for us. So, hello, Soaps on Stone. How are you? Tamales are amazing. Ravens fan. Actually, I like the Ravens. I really do like the Ravens. I like the colors. It's not a good reason to like a team, but also it's what I first noticed about them. They had cool colors. Oh, God, that's not good. He got laid off the day after the Broncos got their butts kicked. But yeah, you know, silver linings. Better job awaits. A better Broncos team awaits. Not anytime soon. No. Not anytime soon. Okay, well, I really do. I'm going to have to cut it off, you guys, because the kiddos do want to go make dinner. And I'm very interested in seeing what they've decided to make tonight. I think they're making something of a... What are they making? We've got some quinoa and some beans. And it's going to be an adventurous meal tonight, really. So... I am. Hey, I did say your name, Soaps on Stone. I said it again. And also, welcome to the stream where we hit 15,000 subs. It's a big deal. Thank you for being part of that 15,000 subs. It's amazing. Oh, good. Your partner grew up in Arizona. One of his aunts was Hispanic. So they throw down. They throw down. Yes, they do. Oh, being a Lions fan. My God, Kelsey. I have friends that are Lions fans, and they actually do a Lions podcast every week of the season, every year, and they have for like 6 or 7 years. And it's just sad. Like they have some, well, they never have high hopes, let's be honest. But as the season continues, it just gets, and they just start out drunk. Like week 12, they just start the podcast drunk. Usually it always ends with them drunk, but they start it that way. And so it's a good time. It's a good time. If you're interested in the podcast, let me know. I'll give you a name. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for doing the live with me tonight and understanding my reasonings as to why I want to do more of this time with you guys, because talking with you. Oh, Kelsey, of course they cry. Yeah, they cry. Open, weeping tears. But yeah, thanks for you guys for doing this tonight. I appreciate it, and for understanding this and all the things. And I will be doing more of this for the reasons that we've already talked about. And for those of you who may have tuned in late, it's always available for the replay, so you can go back and check it all out for sure. But we will be doing more lives of just chit-chatting and doing this and being human with our fellow humans, because if not for you humans, I wouldn't I have 15,000 humans that that's a big frickin' Sudzer family. Okay, it's big. And I thank you for that and for being a part of that, for sure. So I hope you guys had fun tonight. I hope you guys are okay with this content. And if not, whatever. I'm still going to do it because that's kind of how I roll around here. So thank you for joining me for another round of 365 Days of Soap. Tomorrow, maybe Friday, either tomorrow or Friday, the Grey's Anatomy theme is starting. And that is going to be a ton of fun. The Soapprentice designed a whole lot of really cool things. And I'm excited to talk about Grey's Anatomy and all the things with you guys. So that will be starting either tomorrow or Friday. We'll see. But thank you for joining me for tonight. And I will see you guys all again either tomorrow or Friday for another round of soapy fun. Bye. Did the weird thing again. I love you guys all. You guys are so freaking amazing. My God, this is 15,000 subscribers. That's nuts. No, end it. I want to end it so I can go cry. Thank you. And this one.